Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, there was some slight technical issues with my laptop. That is why there is a delay. Am I audible? Audio video is fine. Fine. Where did we stop in the last class? Which topic we have to start? From which topic? Robotics. Just transfer A. So there I've discussed about robotics also with AI and robotics. I've discussed robotics and AI together. So I told you about humanoid robots, self-awareness, all these robots. Examples of robotics I have given. So next topic we'll be discussing today is blockchain technology. So today we'll finish a couple of more topics in ICT, and then we'll move to green technology. Okay, that is the last topic we'll be discussing. Do you have a class today at 5 o'clock, or only my session is there? Okay, fine. No issues. Okay, so you can just take down the definition of blockchain technology. Then I'll explain what is blockchain technology. It is a distributed public ledger. It is a distributed public ledger. Blockchain technology is a distributed. I'll have only one session by 4:30, 4:40. I'll finish my session. Okay, next session we'll be having at 5. Blockchain technology is a distributed public ledger. Distributed public ledger, which is capable to transfer data. Which is capable to transfer data. Is capable to transfer data in a peer-to-peer fashion. In a peer-to-peer fashion. It is capable to transfer data in a peer-to-peer fashion by using cryptographic technique. By using cryptographic technique. By using cryptographic technique. So you would have heard about applications of blockchain technology. There are virtual currencies called cryptocurrencies. Okay, this is one of the best examples where we use blockchain technology, cryptocurrency. Example of one cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. Okay, so we might have heard about this virtual currency. So this is not the only application. There are many other applications, but one example is cryptocurrency. Now we will study this, explain this. Only the person who is entering in the ledger will be able to see it. The other people will not be able to see it. So it is a public ledger and it is a centralized ledger, right? It is a centralized ledger. Only a couple of people will be able to see it. But in blockchain technology, we have decentralized public ledger, meaning everybody in that everybody who's doing some transactions in blockchain will be able to see the ledger. Whatever is happening in this ledger, everyone will be able to see, and it is a decentralized ledger. If I am doing a transaction, with somebody else, automatically this ledger will be updated. Say after every 10 minutes, the ledger will be updated. So there is no centralized person to update this ledger. Okay, there are people who authorize a transaction, but there are no people to authorize this ledger. So it is a distributed public ledger. All right. Now transfer happens in a peer-to-peer fashion. What is peer-to-peer fashion? Again, you go to bank the transaction, if I want to transact say 5,000 rupees to 10 people, 50,000 I give it as cash, the cashier will can transfer money to 10 people simultaneously. It is possible. But in blockchain technology, if I am transferring money to you, I cannot transfer to anybody else. So it is a peer-to-peer or one-to-one transaction is happening. Then no, this number of transactions is also limited. So every second there is only 7 transactions can happen every second. 7 transactions can happen every second, and these transactions should be over in 10 minutes, because every 10 minutes the ledger will be updated. So if the transaction is not over within 10 minutes, what will happen? Ledger will automatically update, and the transaction has to be started in from the beginning. So this is within 10 minutes the transaction has to be completed, and say only 7 transactions happen per second. So only if these transactions get over. So suppose one transaction get over, another new transaction can start. All right. So if these 7 transactions continue for 10 minutes, we can even say that there will be only 7 transactions per 10 minutes. Okay, 7 transactions per 10 minutes might be possible. Even if the what we say, even if this transaction, even if the transaction gets over in 10 minutes, this will happen. Again, who will go to a bank? As I told, there is a centralized person to authenticate the transaction. All right. So there's a cashier or some bank employee will be there who will authenticate. Okay, this transaction has been done. What about blockchain technology? Suppose A is transferring money to B. It is decentralized authentication. Any 2 people in the network, okay, any 2 volunteers can come and authenticate this transaction. Any 2 volunteers on the basis of first come first serve. Okay, whosoever comes first can authenticate this transaction, and they will be getting 0.01% of transaction value as authenticating fees. They will get 0.01% of transaction value as authenticating. So this is any volunteers authenticate. There is no centralized person to authenticate this transaction. All right, so you can take down this point. In blockchain, the ledger is a public ledger. The blockchain is a decentralized public ledger. Decentralized public ledger. Which will be accessible to everyone in the network. Which will be accessible to everyone in the network. It is a decentralized public ledger accessible to everyone in the network. Decentralized public ledger accessible to everyone in the network. The transaction is one to one. The transaction is 1-to-1. Transaction is 1-to-1. Where one individual can initiate transaction against another. Where one individual can initiate transaction against another. Transaction is 1-to-1. Where one individual can initiate transaction against another. Seven transactions happens per second. Only 7 transactions can happen per second. Only 7 transactions happen per second. And the transactions has to be completed in 10 minutes. Only 7 transactions happen per second. Only 7 transactions happen per second. And the transactions has to be completed within 10 minutes. Transactions has to be completed within 10 minutes. Else it has to be restarted from the beginning. Else it has to be restarted from the beginning. Else it has to be restarted from the beginning. There is no centralized person to authenticate a transaction. There is no centralized person to authenticate a transaction. There is no centralized person to authenticate a transaction, but authentication is given by any two volunteers in the network. Authentication is given by any two volunteers in the network on first come first serve basis. On first come first serve basis. Authentication is given to any two volunteers on first come first serve basis. Except sender and receiver. Anyone can authenticate. Except sender and receiver, anyone can authenticate. Except sender and receiver, anyone can authenticate. And after the transaction, ledger will be updated. And after the transaction, ledger will be updated. All right. This is how this blockchain transfer happens. Now, cryptocurrencies. Okay, you might have heard about cryptocurrencies. There are a lot of cryptocurrencies. You can write cryptocurrency. So there is Bitcoin, there is Ethereum, there is Ripple, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and there is a latest Bitcoin which is introduced by Facebook called Libra. So all these are examples of cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Dogecoin, etc. So cryptocurrency is a digital currency. Okay, it is a digital currency. You will never see it in printed form. It is a digital currency. Transactions happen digitally. Cryptocurrencies. And how can we get a cryptocurrency? Way to get cryptocurrency. First is commodity exchange. So give money by Bitcoin. No, just like any commodity exchange, there are a lot of online platforms where you can deposit money, get like what you invest. You give money and buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoins or any of the cryptocurrencies you can buy. All right. So this is commodity exchange. First method is commodity exchange. Then second is authenticating a transaction. So if you authenticate, I told you will get 0.01% as transaction fees. So second is authenticating a transaction. So 0.01% of transaction value you will get as authenticating fees. All right. Third is stopping an illegal transaction. So what is an illegal transaction? Suppose A wants to transfer Bitcoins to B. All right. And A has only 10 Bitcoins with him, but he is trying to transfer 15 Bitcoins. A has only 10 Bitcoins, but A is trying to transfer 15 Bitcoins. It is an illegal transaction. All right. So stopping an illegal transaction. So if you stop an illegal transaction, you will get 0.5% of total value present in the wallet. 0.5% of total value present in the wallet you will get. So you are trying to stop this illegal transaction. No, you will get 0.5 percentage of whatever is present in his wallet. That will be given to you. You stop an illegal transaction. And fourth is by mining of cryptocurrency. Fourth is mining cryptocurrency. This is done by solving algorithms. Mining cryptocurrency done by solving algorithm codes. By solving algorithm codes. All right. So these are the different ways you can get cryptocurrency. And this algorithm code is not very easy to solve. All right, they are difficult codes to solve, and you have to be expert in solving these codes. So it is called an expert tool. This bitcoins or all cryptocurrency, it is an expert tool, because an ordinary person cannot get a cryptocurrency. Go and go mine and come with cryptocurrency. It's not possible. It is an expert tool. It is an expert tool. All right. Now, how exactly does this transaction happen? UPSC will never ask in the exam how this is happening, but just for your understanding, I'll explain. There, I will not be dictating notes. If you want, you can write running notes. Okay, this is because they will not ask. I will not be giving you notes. Suppose, see how this transaction happens. There will be a sender and receiver. Say A and B. A is the sender. B is the receiver. And then we have two people authenticating, C and D. Okay. Authentication is done by C and D. Now, the first thing which should be done, suppose A want to transfer money to B. First, A will create a block saying A want to transfer this much money to B. Okay, so A will create a first. A should disclose what is the amount in his wallet. So A will say, I have said 10 bitcoins with me. So I'll create a wallet saying this much bitcoins is available with me. So this is the first step. Create a block and disclose the amount in the wallet. Okay, disclose amount in the wallet. So this is done. Now, while this transaction is happening, see, 6 other transactions are happening in the network. Right, 7 transactions will happen second. So I should not be disturbed by other transactions. So what I'll do, I'll create a private key and lock this. Okay, I'll create a private key and lock this. So this is my first block. I created this block and I locked it with a private key. All right. Now, second step is I will create another block saying I want to transfer this much money to B. So I say I want to transfer to B, say 8 bitcoins. This is my second block, and this will also be locked with a private key. All right. So now once this second block is created, where I say that I want to transfer, this money to B, the message information will be passed to all members present in the network, seeing that such a transaction is happening. Any two persons can authenticate. Then C and D will come forward and they will authenticate this transaction. They will get this copy of the ledger, right? This ledger will be there in which it will be shown A has 10 bitcoins and A is trying to transfer this 8 bitcoins. So they will have access, because it's a public ledger. They will have access to this ledger and they will check the ledger, verify it is not a fake transaction, original transaction, and not an illegal transaction, and they will authenticate. Okay, so they will authenticate. So once they authenticate, they will get 0.5 percentage, 0.1 percentage of the transaction value as an authenticating fee. So they will authenticate, the transaction will be complete, ledger will be updated. Okay, this is what will happen. Ledger will be updated. Now suppose I have 10 bitcoins with me. I tried to transfer 15 instead of 8 bitcoins. I am trying to transfer 15 bitcoins. Right, 15 bitcoins. This is an illegal transaction. This is an illegal transaction, and the people who create this, illegal bitcoins are called forkers. Okay, this process of creating, just like fake currency, we will create, print fake currency. Similarly, it is possible to create fake bitcoins. So creating fake bitcoins is called forking, and people who does that is called forkers or mixers or tumblers. Okay, tumblers, they will create duplicate bitcoins or duplicate cryptocurrency. They create duplicate cryptocurrency. Now, this what is A says to be A is transferring. I want to transfer 15 Bitcoin. So C and D will find this is an illegal transaction, and if they want to stop it, what they have to do? They have to break this private key. If they break this private key, the entire transaction will collapse. Okay, and if the entire transaction collapses, they will get 0.5% of the money in his wallet. Whatever money he has in wallet, 0.5% of that will be given to C and D. All right, this is how they stop an illegal transaction. You can just write how they stop the illegal transaction. Through creating duplicate cryptocurrency is called forking. Creating duplicate cryptocurrency is called forking. And duplicate cryptocurrency is created by forkers or mixers or tumblers. Is created by forkers, mixers or tumblers. Forkers, mixers or tumblers. The illegal transaction can be stopped by changing the private key. Illegal transaction can be stopped by changing the private key. Which will collapse the block. All right. So this is how you stop an illegal transaction. Now these are all financial examples, like cryptocurrency related examples of a blockchain. So there are some non-financial sector applications. First one is called bond-I-bond scheme. Bond-I-bond scheme. It is a scheme of World Bank. Bond-I-bond scheme of World Bank. They use blockchain technology. To transfer financial bonds. They use blockchain technology to transfer financial bonds of Central Bank of Australia. To transfer financial bonds of Central Bank of Australia to customers. To transfer financial bonds of Central Bank of Australia to customers, they use blockchain. So you can pay cash to purchase this bonds. Bonds will be given to you by blockchain technology. They transfer financial bonds of Central Bank of Australia to customers. Second, Rajasthan government is using blockchain to store land records. Rajasthan government is using blockchain to store land records. They are using blockchain to store land records. Then Prestige Company. Prestige Company is a home appliance company. You might have heard about Prestige Company. They are using blockchain. They are using blockchain to deliver product warranty and guarantee. To deliver product warranty and guarantee. They are using blockchain to deliver product warranty and guarantee. See, example how it is done. Suppose we have a shopkeeper A and a buyer B. Okay, B has bought something from A. Now B wants to claim his warranty or guarantee. Product got damaged. He wants to claim his warranty or guarantee. So we will create a block with the serial number, purchase serial number or something. We will create a block, and there will be two authenticators. So authenticator, maybe one authenticator is the distributor, and the other authenticator is the service engineer. Service engineer and distributor can be the authenticator. So these people will authenticate. Okay, the serial number is right and it is still in warranty guarantee. It can be given. Alright. So the complex process of approving a warranty need not happen. So it can be simply done by using a serial, just entering a serial number, creating a block. This is one application of blockchain. So Prestige companies delivering product warranty and guarantee by using blockchain. Now next is something which is not yet implemented, but we can use it for public distribution system, PDS. Public distribution system, PDS. So these are ration shops. All right. So here also we will create blocks. Suppose A is the shopkeeper and B is the buyer. B is the buyer. You can first create a block saying all this: rice 5 kg, wheat 10 kg, etc. Can create a block, and this will be verified by two people. One can be the person next in queue. Okay, he can verify, yes, this is what he is buying and he has obtained it. And the next person can be a government official. He can sit in his office. This block will be shared with him. He can verify. So there will be no illegal, selling, buying, etc. Okay, it is verified by a government official and even by a person next in the queue. And there is a proposal to use this blockchain even in voting. Okay, even in voting, remote voting, etc., can be done in this manner. Indicated by two people. That's all. So these are some of the non-financial applications of blockchain. So some of the non-financial applications of blockchain. Now some issues or limitations. Some limitations. First one is its complexity. To use it is complexity. It is an expert tool. So it is not very easy to use. First limitation is its complexity. It is an expert tool. Then second is transaction speed is low. Transaction speed is low. See, 7 transactions only can happen per second, right? So transaction speed is low. Second, transaction speed is low. Then security flaws. Security flaws like forking. Security flaws like forking. Security flaws are there. Then the block is public, right? It is a public block. Block is public and is transparent. Public and transparent. So there will be lack of privacy. there will be lack of privacy. See, if you are buying water, you are buying from the ration shop. Everybody in that region will be able to see the block, right? This, everybody using that ration shop might be seeing the block, so everybody will be knowing that you purchase all the things. So there is lack of privacy because the block is public and transparent. There can be lack of privacy. There can be lack of privacy. There can be lack of privacy. Anyhow, there is more acceptance which is being given to the cryptocurrency, even though India has not officially recognized this cryptocurrency, and we want to ban cryptocurrency. So we have introduced a bill, cryptocurrency and regulation of official digital currency bill. We have introduced cryptocurrency and regulation of official digital currency bill. Cryptocurrency and regulation of official digital currency bill. Where government is planning to ban cryptocurrencies. We have introduced cryptocurrency and regulation of digital currency bill, where the government is planning to ban cryptocurrencies. Government is planning to ban cryptocurrencies. And we are planning to set up an official digital currency. And we are planning to set up an official digital currency. Government wants to introduce its own digital currency. All right. And they want to ban all of the cryptocurrencies. We are planning to introduce official digital currency. All right. So like Saudi and UAE have a common digital currency called ABER. Saudi and UAE have a common digital currency called ABER. Saudi and UAE have come up with a common digital currency, ABER. ABER. And we have also set up a Center of Excellence in Blockchain. Center of Excellence in Blockchain has been introduced, has been started in Bangalore. Center of Excellence in Blockchain have been started at Bangalore. All right. So this, and more people have started accepting cryptocurrency, like Tesla. No, the Elon Musk company producing electric cars, etc. Tesla is now accepting cryptocurrency. Tesla is accepting cryptocurrency. You can buy things from Tesla in cryptocurrency. Mastercard, PayPal, etc. Mastercard, Tesla is accepting cryptocurrency. Tesla is accepting cryptocurrency. Mastercard, PayPal, etc. has added cryptocurrency. They have added cryptocurrency as a payment method. They have added cryptocurrency as a payment method. All right. They have added cryptocurrency as a payment method. And the next topic is net neutrality. Net neutrality. All right. So first you write the definition, then explain net neutrality. It is an internet governance practice. It is an internet governance practice it is an internet governance practice which aims to provide internet governance practice which aims to provide a non-discriminatory which aims to provide a non-discriminatory price value. It is an internet governance practice which aims to provide a non-discriminatory price value to users irrespective of the type of data used in internet. This is an internet governance practice which aims to provide non-discriminatory price value to users irrespective of the data used in internet. All right. So to understand this, we should know about something called free basics. Okay. So this free basics was introduced by Reliance Mobile and Facebook in 2015-16. In 2015-16, Reliance Mobile and Facebook introduced a concept called free basics. So what is free basics? Preference was given to a certain kind of content. Okay. If we use a certain kind of content, data will not be deducted. Say Facebook. Certain kind of content in Facebook was free of cost. Like you can post status as a text. You cannot put video status, that will be chargeable, but you can put status as a text, or you can use light messenger where you can send messages but not you cannot send video, audio, etc. And these kind of things, certain things were free of cost. You can access certain things in FB free of cost. So this is what is called discriminatory price value. So if I want to put a status as say a video, I don't know how to type and I know how to speak. So if I want to put status as a video, that will be costly. If I know how to type well, I can put it free of cost. So this is one thing. Using FB was free. If I want to put same thing in Instagram or Twitter, it is costly. I want to put something as text in Twitter, I will have to pay for my data pack. So there was discriminatory price value, and this practice was going to be stopped by the process of net neutrality. So that is what we say. It is an internet governance practice where we will have non-discriminatory price value. Irrespective of what application you are using, you will be having the same price value. Okay, this is called net neutrality. So net neutrality we wrote. Next heading you can write free basics. Free basics was introduced by Reliance Mobile and Facebook. Was introduced by Reliance Mobile. Was introduced by Reliance Mobile and Facebook. Was introduced by Reliance Mobile and Facebook in 2015-16. In 2015-16, in which preference was given to a certain kind of content. Preference was given to a certain kind of content. Preference was given to a certain kind of content without having any deduction. Without having any deduction. Without having any deduction in data pack. First, it affected a level playing field. Affected level playing field and innovation. Affected level playing field and innovation. See, why it is affecting level playing field? I'm your Facebook. I am an opponent of Facebook. You are giving priority. I am Twitter. You are Facebook. So you are getting unnecessary priority. So no, in the market, it's not a level playing field. And suppose I want to create a competitor for Facebook. Already people are using Facebook without any data pack. Alright. So why will people pay and use my network? So I will not try to innovate something which is like competing Facebook. So this is why it is affecting level playing field and innovation. Second, it affects freedom of expression. It affects freedom of expression. It affects freedom of expression. How? Because I want to type as text, you want to put as a video. I get free, you are not getting free. So this is how freedom of expression is getting affected. So I do not have the freedom of expression. And third problem, internet service providers, ISP, was becoming content determiners. Internet service providers was becoming content determiners. So they will decide what type of content you have to put, where you have to put the content, etc. Because they are giving free of cost. Like Google is free of cost, but Yahoo search is paid. Even or I take vice versa. Yahoo search is free of cost, and Google, to search in Google you have to pay something. So obviously, no, when it now the concept of data pack itself has changed, but still, Yahoo search is free of cost. We will start preferring Yahoo search because if you use a Yahoo search, data pack will not come down. All right, so this is a pre-Geo era where every 1 GB used to cost 100, 150 GB. But now every day we use 1.5 GB. Even then you assume Geo is coming out with a concept. If we use Netflix, there will be no data deduction. But if you use Amazon Prime, there will be data deduction. So everybody will start using Netflix because there is no data charge, right? So this is affecting the level playing field. It is affecting innovations. It is affecting my freedom of expression. They are becoming more like content determinants. They will start to decide what should be the content. So to deal with this, we are coming out with something called net neutrality, and TRAI has come out with certain recommendations. TRAI is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Their recommendations regarding net neutrality. TRAI recommendation. TRAI recommendations. First recommendation is disclosure about traffic management. Disclosure about traffic management. Disclosure about traffic management. See, what is disclosure about traffic management? At times when the network is too slow, the service providers will say there is lot of traffic in that area, because that means many people are using the network. That is why network speed is low, right? Do you have any proof that many people are using it? So if it in a road, there is traffic, you can see at least there are vehicles on the road. You can see a long line of vehicles. So there is traffic jam. What about this mobile network? The service providers are saying to you that there is lot of network or traffic is there, better traffic, when people are using it, that is why it is slow. Now after this, what we say, big data, net neutrality is going to be implemented. If a customer requires the number of active users, it has to be provided. Okay, the company has to tell, okay, this area 1000 users are using the internet. This area 500 users are using the internet. This information has to be given to you. All right. So disclosure about traffic management. Number of active user details. Number of active user details. Number of active user details has to be given to the required customer. has to be given to the required customer. Number of active user details has to be given to the required customer. Second is deep packet inspection. Deep packet inspection is not allowed. Deep packet inspection is not allowed. Deep packet inspection is not allowed. What is deep packet inspection? Example of deep packet inspection is geo-targeting. Geo-targeting. What happens? Suppose you want to take a 2 BHK for rent, say in Trivandrum or Anna Nagar or Bangalore, Delhi. You want to take a 2 BHK for rent. You are just searching for a 2 BHK apartment. So there are a lot of websites where you can say there is Sulega.com, 99 acres, OLX, no brokers. You're searching somewhere about a 2 BHK flats in a particular area. Then after that you enter the network, you will start getting suggestions about 2 BHK flats in the same area, right? In the same area where you search, you will start getting suggestions regarding 2 BHK flats. Why? That means the ISP, Internet Service Provider company, is monitoring our search content. This is called deep packet inspection. So they will not be allowed to monitor our search content. So this is the second point in net neutrality, which is going to come. Deep packet inspection is not allowed. Like geo-targeting. Like geo-targeting, the ISP companies will not be allowed to monitor the search content. ISP companies will not be allowed to monitor search content. ISP companies will not be allowed to monitor the search content. All right. Third, improper prioritization is not allowed. Improper prioritization is not allowed. Improper prioritization is not allowed. The example, take the same example of 2 BHK flat. You are checking for a 2 BHK flat in a particular browser. So in the first search page, say you are seeing the results from only one dealer, like 99acres.com. You are seeing all the results from 99acres. Second page, third page, etc. Only you will be able to see other sites like Sulekha or No Brokers. You will be able to see in the upcoming pages. Why? Because this internet service provider has an MOU with a particular company where they will be highlighting a particular company in the beginning. So if you take the search behavior of people, 60 to 70% of people do not go after the first page. Whatever is shown in the first page, they will pick something from that and check only in that. Only very few people go to the second and third pages. So improper prioritization is given to a particular company because there is an MOU signed with IS. So this will not be allowed. Okay, improper prioritization will not be allowed. Fourth is calls via TSP and OTT. In calls via TSP and OTT. What is TSP? The service providers like Airtel, Jio, etc. is the TSP. OTT is platforms like WhatsApp, Skype, whatever we are using, that is called OTT, over the top. We discussed OTT. So now what is the scene? In OTT, if you make a call, whatever is the call, it is free of cost. If you are using TSP, it is chargeable, right? This chargeable. This Jio, Airtel, etc. is paying a huge money to the government as spectrum fees to get this particular spectrum. Say, you are using spectrum to make the call, no, 90 gigahertz to 100 gigahertz. So by this spectrum, they are paying huge money to the government. So if everyone start using this OTT to make calls, TSP will not be able to survive. So now if the net neutrality is going to come, the decision is international calls will be free. Okay, international calls you can make free via any platform, but local calls will be chargeable. Local calls will be chargeable even if you are making through OTT, TSP. Local calls they are going to be charged. Okay, local calls will be chargeable. So in calls via TSP and OTT, international calls will be free. International calls will be free. Local calls will be chargeable. Local calls will be chargeable. International calls will be free. Local calls will be chargeable. All right. So the next point is there will be a permanent cell. There will be a permanent cell in Department of Telecommunications. There will be a permanent cell in Department of Telecommunications to deal with issues. To deal with issues. So now if at all any complaint we have to make a call to the customer care. And how how at times how customer care operates. You have to wait for 10 minutes and then even then it might not be connected. Especially BSNL and all if you are using, if you make a call to the customer care, you know the response. But now if at all it is not getting solved by customer care, you can directly approach Department of Telecommunication. Not just customer care, the network, if the service providers have an issue, all these things will be dealt by a permanent cell in Department of Telecommunications. This is the fifth change. Sixth is tariff. Tariff will be fixed by TRAI. Tariff will be fixed by TRAI. Now, if you are doing say 1 month pack by Airtel, you are paying 150 rupees. Jio might be charging 100 rupees. 2 month pack, Airtel might be charging 300 rupees. Jio might be charging 250 rupees. All right. So different companies have different tariffs. It is going to be unified. Now it will be fixed by TRAI. If it is 1 month pack, 1 month 1 GB pack, you have to give it at 100 rupees. So this is going to be decided by TRAI. TRAI will decide. So every company has to follow the same tariff. Now, if every company has the same tariff, how will customers pick network? It will be based on better service. First is obviously better service. Whether calls are getting dropped, whether you are getting network coverage, all these things will be taken. Then they can think about value-added services. Value-added services like free Netflix, free Amazon Prime. You recharge for 500 rupees, you get Amazon Prime free for 1 month. You get Netflix free for 1 month. So all this kind of value-added services can be provided. So customers might give preference to first is better service and second is value-added service. So here tariff will be decided by tariff will be fixed by TRAI. Tariff will be fixed by TRAI. So network might be picked based on. So networks might be picked based on better service, value-added service, etc. Better service, value-added service, etc. And there is an exception in net neutrality. Exception is given to content delivery network. Exception is given to content delivery network, CDN. Content delivery network, CDN, which is private network. Content delivery network is private network, or companies use this network for official purposes. Companies use it for official purposes. Companies use it for official purposes. So see, suppose a company is using a particular network, they can say that accessing the company mail is free of cost. if you are using that network, you can use access the company mail, company website, etc. free of cost. So these kind of networks where companies are using, for their internal purposes or official purposes, you can have some preference given to company. So content. So content delivery networks will be exempted from net neutrality. All right. So these are the changes recommended by TRI, and we are expecting that this suggestions, net neutrality and the suggestions will be implemented either this year or next year. Okay. So as it happens, please update yourself. All right. So that is all about ICT. If you have any doubts, you can ask, or else we'll move to green technologies. Any questions, any doubts? Nanotechnology will be dealt by Sucharitan sir when he's taking this test series orientation. Before pre-storming, before every test, you have an orientation session, right? So sir told he will discuss about nanotechnology in the orientation session. All right. So next is green technology. Green technology, that is not like certain areas has to be discussed. It is like certain topics we will be discussing in green technology. So green technology will be discussing certain topics. We'll start from Bharat stage norms, BS norms. So you might have studied about BS norms in environment, right? In environment or even economics, you might have studied about BS norms. So the environmental aspects we will not be discussing. I just want you to introduce the scientific aspects of BS norms. All right. So you can write first what is the definition of BS norm. It is a pollution emission standard. It is a pollution emission standard. Pollution emission standard fixed by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It's a pollution emission standard fixed by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Fixed by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And regulated by CPCB. Regulated by CPCB. That is Central Pollution Control Board. Regulated by CPCB. Central Pollution Control Board. Regulated by CPCB. Regulation is done based on emission of particulate matter. Regulation is done based on the emission of particulate matter, hydrocarbon, nitrous oxide, and sulfur oxide. Nitrous oxide and sulfur oxide. So we will measure the emission of all this particulate matter, hydrocarbon, nitrous oxide, sulfur oxide, etc. And we will try to bring down this emission. So emission regulation is based upon emission of particulate matter, hydrocarbon, nitrous oxide, and sulfur oxide. Particulate matter, hydrocarbon, nitrous oxide, and sulfur oxide. Now, stages of Bharat norms, stages of BS norms. So we have BS 1 to 6. BS 1 to 6, but there is no BS 5. We have skipped BS 5. Okay, we have skipped BS 5. From BS 4, we directly went to BS 6. So here there is emission standard. In each of these phase, there is emission standard for petrol and diesel. So the emission is calculated in ppm. Emission is calculated in ppm, parts per million. Emission is calculated in ppm, parts per million. So in BS6, we are trying to reduce emissions to 10 ppm. Okay, we are trying to reduce emissions to 10 ppm. In BS6, we are trying to reduce emissions to 10 ppm. Trying to reduce emissions to 10 ppm. All right, BS6, we are trying to reduce emissions. These are the values in all the stages. And why we skipped BS5? Why we skipped BS5? Because of two reasons. First one, India had to fulfill its promises to international treaties and conventions. To fulfill promises to international treaties and conventions. To fulfill promises to international treaties and conventions, including Paris Climate Agreement. Including Paris Climate Agreement. So we have said similar to this BS norms, there is a norm in Europe called Euro norms. Okay, so Euro norms was 5 years in advance to us. We actually started BS1 in 2000, but Europe started this in 1995 itself. So Europe was 5 years ahead of us. Europe was 5 years ahead of us, and because they were 5 years ahead of us, it was not, India was actually not possible to export vehicles to US because our emission norms were different. So now we are trying to catch up with EU year of implementation. So second is to get matched with EU year of implementation. To get matched with EU year of implementation. To match with EU year of implementation. And export more vehicles. And export more vehicles to EU. Export more vehicles to EU. All right. Now there are three components which we are adding in BS6. Three new components are there in BS6. Three new components in BS6. First is a diesel particulate filter. Three new components. Diesel particulate filter. It is used to filter out diesel particulate filter, which will filter out particulate matter and hydrocarbon. Diesel particulate filter, which filters out particulate matter and hydrocarbon. Diesel particulate filter filters out particulate matter and hydrocarbon. First is a diesel particulate filter, which filters out particulate matter and hydrocarbon. Second, we have selective catalytic reductor. Selective catalytic reductor. Selective catalytic reductor, which is an ammonia solution chamber. Which is an ammonia solution chamber. Ammonia solution chamber. And it filters out nitrous oxide. It filters nitrous oxide. And third is catalytic converter. Catalytic converter. Catalytic converter, which converts carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, hydrocarbon to water vapor, and nitrous oxide to nitrogen. Catalytic converter, which converts carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, hydrocarbon to water vapor, and nitrous oxides to nitrogen. And nitrous oxides to nitrogen. All right. So even then, we cannot call it completely no pollution free, because still carbon dioxide is getting released, right? But it is less harmful than carbon monoxide. So we are converting it into less harmful gas. That's all. So these are the three new components in BS6. Three new components in BS6. All right. Next is FAME India scheme. FAME India scheme. FAME India scheme. Faster adoption. The particulate matter means due to incomplete combustion of hydrocarbons, there will be matter released into the atmosphere, like aerosol, soot, etc. So this is called particulate matter. All right. All right. So next is FAME India scheme. Faster adoption and manufacturing of electric and hybrid vehicles. Faster adoption and manufacturing of electric and hybrid vehicles. This is FAME. faster adoption and manufacturing of electric and hybrid vehicles. Electric and hybrid vehicles. All right. So in FAME India scheme, there are three objectives of FAME India scheme. Three objectives are there. First objective is to promote electric and hybrid vehicles. Objective first, promote electric and hybrid vehicles. First objective is to promote electric and hybrid vehicles. So what is electric vehicle? Electric vehicle runs with battery source. Electric vehicle runs with battery source. Promote electric and hybrid vehicles. So electric vehicles runs with battery source, and hybrid vehicles uses both battery and fossil fuel. Hybrid vehicles uses both battery and fossil fuel. To promote electric and hybrid vehicles. So hybrid vehicles uses both battery and fossil fuel. Electric vehicles uses battery source. All right. Now there are two battery sources. First battery is lithium ion battery. We have lithium ion battery and we have iron battery. All right. Lithium ion and iron battery. These are the two battery sources. These are the two battery sources, lithium ion and iron ion. Now, lithium ion is highly compact. It is very small, highly compact in nature. Lithium ion is highly compact in nature. Highly compact in nature. We can have more number of charging and discharging cycles. More number of charging and discharging cycles. Number of times you can charge and discharge a battery before it gets damaged. So we can have more number of charging and discharging cycles. If proper charging and discharging is done, it can have more number of charging and discharging cycles. If proper charging and discharging is done, it can have a life of up to 7 years. It can have a life of up to 7 years. It can have a life of up to 7 years. Then there can be complete charging and discharging. Complete charging and discharging. See, where we are using this lithium ion batteries now, in our mobile phones, laptops, etc., we are using lithium ion battery. So we can charge it to 100%, then it can be discharged to 0%. So complete charging, complete discharging, both are possible. Complete charging and discharging. Complete charging and discharging. It can be recharged. It can be recharged. It can be recharged even in partially discharged condition. It can be recharged even in partially discharged condition. It can be recharged even in partially discharged. So even if the charge is 50%, you can recharge it. It's possible. You need not wait it to end to 0% to recharge. It can be recharged in partially discharged condition. 100% recyclable. 100% recyclable. and there is more volumetric ratio. Just more volumetric ratio. 100% recyclable, and it has more volumetric ratio. What is volumetric ratio? More output for less raw material. More output for less raw material. More output for less raw material. This is more volumetric ratio. More output for less raw material. So where all this is it will be used in our vehicles, electric vehicles, but where all we are using it currently, example is cell phone, laptop batteries. Current cell phone, laptop batteries are lithium ion batteries. Example, cell phone, laptop battery. Example, cell phone, laptop battery. Next is ion batteries. Ion batteries. They have safe charging and discharging. They have safe charging and discharging. See, you know this lithium ion batteries, there is a possibility of blast when it is getting charged, or even when it is discharging. There's a possibility more in when we charge it. There is a possibility of blast happens. You might have heard about mobile batteries blasting at many times, when it is getting charged, etc. So in that problem is not there for ion batteries. It has safe charging or discharging, no blast or no blasting. It has a lifespan of 10 years. Lifespan of 10 years. It has a slow discharge. It has a slow discharge. That means once you charge it full, the discharge will be very slow. So it has a slow discharge. Charge will end slowly. So this is ion battery. Slow discharge. All right. Now the first objective we were discussing, it is promote electric and hybrid vehicles. Now second objective is to minimize the usage of fossil fuels. To minimize usage of fossil fuels. To minimize usage of fossil fuels. For that, we are adopting different methods. First one is ethanol and methanol blending. Ethanol-methanol blending. To minimize the usage of fossil fuels, we have ethanol and methanol blending. So this ethanol and methanol, this basically can be manufactured domestically. We can manufacture it in India itself. So this will make petrol and diesel cheaper. That is the first use. Second, it can be blended easily with petrol and diesel. This is the second benefit. Third, it is a complete burning fuel. It will completely burn, so it will be a more clean fuel. So that is why we are going for ethanol and methanol blending. You might have studied about this in environment also. Ethanol-methanol blending. So first, it will be cheaper. You can just take down if you want. Ethanol and methanol, domestically produced. Hence it will be cheaper. Domestically produced, it will be cheaper. Can be blended easily. Blended easily with petrol and diesel. Can be blended easily with petrol and diesel. And third, they are clean fuels. Clean fuels, complete burning or complete combustion. They are complete burning fuels. So this is one way to minimize fossil fuels, ethanol and methanol blending. So they are domestically produced, hence they will be cheaper. They can be blended easily with petrol and diesel. They are clean fuels or complete burning fuels. All right. Similarly, we have something called the RUCO project. RUCO project, which is reused cooking oil project. Reused cooking oil project. Reused cooking oil project, where used cooking oil is used as a biofuel. Used cooking oil is used as biofuel or biodiesel. We are using used cooking oil as biodiesel. RUCO project. Third, we are using hydrogenated CNG. Hydrogenated CNG. CNG is compressed natural gas. Hydrogenated CNG, compressed natural gas. So this is already getting used in the green buses in Delhi. In green buses in Delhi, we are using hydrogenated CNG. So this is the third way to reduce the use of fossil fuels. So this is the second objective. Third objective is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Again, we are using biofuels only, and we have a national biofuel energy policy. National biofuel energy policy is there, which again you might have studied in environment. This is an important topic in environment also. 4 stages of biofuels: first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, etc. So we are using biofuel so that our greenhouse gas emissions come down. Reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Third objective is reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And fourth is employment generation or employment opportunities. Employment opportunities. So obviously this is a new sector. No electric vehicles, hybrid vehicles, etc. So we have a lot of schemes like Skill India, no Startup India, Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. All these are there. So more employment has to be generated. So through all this, we are trying to generate more employment. So this is the fourth, generic. It is a generic thing, but yeah, we are trying to generate more employment through this. All right. Do you want a break or can I continue? The next topic we will be discussing is magnetic levitation. Magnetic levitation or maglev. Magnetic levitation or maglev technology. So this maglev technology is used in bullet trains, metro rail, hyperloop, etc. All right. So we'll discuss all this together. Okay, 5 minutes. Come back fast. We have to finish the class today. So a couple of more topics are there. So hopefully we'll finish by 4:30. So 5 minutes break can take. All right. If you have any doubt, you want to see any slide or anything you could not take down, write down slide you want to see again, please ask. I'll show you. So let's continue. Next is magnetic levitation. Magnetic levitation. So maglev technology, we can call it maglev technology or magnetic levitation. Floating a material with magnetic property. Floating a material with magnetic property and making them move. Floating a material with magnetic property and making them move in a non-contact fashion. Making them move in a non-contact fashion. Making them move in a non-contact fashion with respect to ground region. With respect to ground region is called maglev technology. It uses repulsive property of magnet. It uses repulsive property of magnet for floating a material. It uses repulsive property of magnets for floating a material. It uses repulsive property of magnets for floating a material. So what is being done? See, if we keep north and north pole like poles together, there will be repulsion. All right. So this bullet trains, hyperloops, metro rail, etc. There will be a magnet which will be attached to this train, and in the what we say, the rail itself or in the ground also there will be a magnet. So what will happen? This will repel and the train will slightly float in air. Okay. So this is floated in air and then it will travel in the air. Motion is provided by again technologies, magnetic technologies. So this is called magnetic levitation. Magnetic levitation is floating a material by using magnetic property and then making it move in a non-contact fashion. Okay, it will not touch the ground while it is moving. It will be slightly floating and then it will move. This is called maglev technology and it uses repulsive property. It is widely used for operating. It is widely used for operating metro rail. It is widely used for operating metro rail, bullet train, hyperloop, etc. It is widely used for operating metro rail, bullet train, hyperloop, etc. Metro rail, bullet train, hyperloop. Metro rail, bullet train, hyperloop, etc. So there are three techniques to provide levitation. Three techniques to provide levitation. There are three techniques to provide levitation. First is called electrodynamics. Electrodynamics. First is called electrodynamics, where super electromagnets are used. Super electromagnets. Super electromagnets are used. See, what are super electromagnets? You might have heard about superconductors. What are superconductors? They exhibit conductivity at sub-zero temperature or at cryogenic temperature. They exhibit conductivity, right? So similarly, substances which exhibit magnetism at cryogenic temperature or sub-zero temperature are called super electromagnets. So here we use super electromagnet which exhibit magnetism which exhibits magnetism only in cryogenic temperature. Only in cryogenic temperature. Which exhibits magnetism only in cryogenic temperature. So this is electrodynamics. Then we have electromagnetism. Electromagnetism. Electromagnets are used. So what is an electromagnet? Electromagnet is like a temporary magnet, right? It is not a permanent magnet. It is a temporary magnet. Magnetism, which exhibits magnetism. Wire wound on a coil, which exhibits magnetism when electric current is passed through it. When electric current is passed through it. So it is not a permanent magnet. So we pass electric current and then it will exhibit what we call magnetism. This is electromagnet. Third is inductive track. Inductive track, where we use permanent magnets. Permanent magnets. So there are three techniques to provide levitation. Either we can go for super electromagnets, or we can go for electromagnets, or we can go for permanent magnets. All right. Now there are three types of movements in this train, bullet train, hyperloop, etc. Movements. Three types of movements are there. Movements in maglev trains. Okay. Movements in maglev trains. First movement is called levitation. First movement is called levitation, or it is also called floating movement. Levitation or floating movement. That movement technique which we discussed now, maglev technology we discussed. Now this is levitation or floating movement. Magnets are positioned in vertical direction. They are positioned in vertical direction. They are positioned in vertical direction. And it makes use of repulsive property. It makes use of repulsive property of magnet. It makes use of repulsive property of magnet. And it will make the material, get floated. It will make the material get floated. To make the material get floated. So we will keep this magnet in vertical direction. See, suppose this is the cabin. Okay, this is the train cabin. And then we have concrete slabs in which the train runs. Suppose this is the concrete slab. All right. So we will keep like pole. So this is north pole in the slab, there will be north pole in the cabin. South pole and south pole will be kept near. So what will happen? There will be repulsion. All right. There will be repulsion and the cabin will float on the track. There will be repulsion. And the cabin will float on the track. Concrete slab meaning the track. Right. So it will float on the track. This is the first movement. We will float the cabin. So this is the first movement called levitation or floating movement. All right. Second movement is called propulsion. Propulsion, or it is called linear movement. Propulsion, linear movement, or forward backward movement. Forward backward movement. So magnet is mounted in horizontal direction. Magnet is mounted in horizontal direction, and it uses attractive property. It uses attractive property. It uses attractive property, or we keep unlike poles nearby. It uses attractive property, or unlike poles are kept nearby. You make use of attractive property, or unlike poles are kept nearby. All right, suppose this is the cabin. So, and this is the concrete slabs. So we'll keep the no, what we say, unlike poles together, or unlike poles nearby. Suppose this is north pole, this will be south. Similarly, so what will happen? Attraction will happen. So imagine you are getting attracted to one side. Now, if what will happen? It is like a pull, which will move you forward or backward, depending upon the direction of current, depending upon how this pulling happens. You can pull it like this, so you will move forward. If you are pulling it like this, you will move backward. Right. So this is how the train is moving forward and backward. Linear motion is obtained by this. Okay, propulsion. Propulsion. So here we make use of electromagnetism. Here we make use of electromagnetism. Electromagnetism. That is when electric current is applied. When electric current is applied, when electric current is applied, attraction happens. Attraction happens. Attraction happens, and there will be pulling. When electric current is applied, attraction happens, and there will be pulling. There will be pulling. And train will move forward. Attraction happens, and there will be pulling. Train will move forward. Train will move forward. If we reverse the current flow direction, train will move backward. If we reverse the current flow direction, train will move backward. If we reverse the current flow direction, train will move backward. If we reverse the current flow direction, train will move backward. So this is the second movement. Third movement is called guideway. Guideway or adjustment movement. Guideway or adjustment movement. Here also it is similar Magnets are mounted in horizontal direction. And we make use of the attractive property. We make use of attractive property. Here, equal attraction is given to both sides. Equal attraction is given to both sides. Equal attraction is given to both sides. If more attraction is given to one side, if more attraction is given to one side, the train will derail. The train will derail. The train will derail. If more attraction is given to one side, the train will derail. By using guideway, the train will adjust itself to the center. The train will adjust itself to the center. The train will adjust itself to the center. So it is just like propulsion, but here what we'll do, we'll give equal attraction on both sides. We'll apply force equally on both sides so that the train adjusts itself to the center. If you pull it more to one side, train will tumble to that side. So we will apply force equally to both sides so that the train balances to the center. This is called guideway or adjustment moment. Next paragraph, you write. Next paragraph. Guideway and propulsion goes hand in hand. Guideway and propulsion goes hand in hand. Goes hand in hand. Propulsion can be one side or two sides. Propulsion can be one side or two sides. Propulsion can be one side or two sides. In guideway, attraction should happen equally. In guideway, attraction should happen equally. In guideway, attraction should happen equally. So all the three movements are necessary to get the all the three movements are necessary. All the three movements are necessary for the train to get moved. All the three movements are necessary for the train to get moved. Right. So in maglev technology, we use only repulsion. Maglev technology is only repulsion. But maglev trains use both attraction and repulsion. Right. So maglev trains, maglev technology we discussed in the beginning. So this maglev technology is also used in maglev trains, but it is not just maglev technology, but it uses propulsion, it uses guideway, etc. So maglev trains use both attraction and repulsion. Maglev trains use both attraction and repulsion. All right, maglev trains use both attraction and repulsion. Maglev technology is only repulsion. Next is bullet trains. Bullet trains. So levitation can be actually classified into active and passive. Okay, there is active levitation and passive levitation. So bullet trains uses active levitation. Hyperloop uses passive levitation. We'll discuss. So bullet trains uses active levitation. Active levitation. Bullet trains uses active levitation. What is active levitation? Electric power is continuously supplied. It uses active levitation, where electric power is continuously supplied to run the train. Electric power is continuously supplied to run the train. So in passive levitation, so you can guess. So electric power is supplied only initially. Then the train will run automatically. But in bullet train, we have to continuously provide the electric current, whether it is for um, levitation, propulsion, hyperloop. We have to continuously provide the electric current. So this is called active levitation. Then only the train will move forward. And bullet trains operates in open atmosphere. It operates in open atmosphere. Bullet train operates in open atmosphere. Hence, there will be more air resistance. Hence, there will be more air resistance and more friction. Hence, there will be more air resistance and more friction. Hence, there will be more air resistance, more friction. So, the maximum speed of bullet trains is approximately 750 km per hour. The maximum speed of bullet trains is 750 km per hour. All right. Next, we have hyperloop. 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 It is the fifth mode of transportation. Hyperloop is the fifth mode of transportation. Hyperloop is the fifth mode of transportation. What are the other four modes? Land, water, air, and outer space. So land will have both road and rail will be there. So land, water, air, and outer space. So this is the fifth mode of transportation. Hyperloop is the fifth mode of transportation. The brainchild of Elon Musk, the Tesla man. It is the brainchild of Elon Musk. Brainchild of Elon Musk. It operates in a near vacuum tunnel. Okay, this water train operates in a near vacuum tunnel. It operates in a near vacuum tunnel. Near vacuum tunnel, which has the presence of little amount of air only. It operates in a near vacuum tunnel, which has the presence of little amount of air. So this is near vacuum tunnel. And the place where passengers sit is called pod. All right. So passenger sitting area is called pod. Passenger sitting area is called pod. POD. Passenger sitting area is called pod. Passenger sitting area is called pod. Each pod can carry 6 to 8 passengers. Each pod can carry 6 to 8 passengers. Each pod can carry 6 to 8 passengers. Each pod have a magnetic clamp Each pod have a magnetic clamp called skid. Each pod have a magnetic clamp called skid. When the skid is lowered, the train stops. When the skid is lowered, the train stops. And when the skid is lifted, the train moves. When the skid is lifted, the train moves. So you move down the skid and you pull up. Okay, so if it is moving down, it will touch the ground and the train will stop. All right, so it is using the skid that the train will stop. There are air compressors in the tunnel. There are air compressors in the tunnel to remove air entering at the station. There are air compressors in the tunnel to remove air entering the station. There are air compressors in the tunnel to remove air entering at the station. So at the stations when the train stops, air will be entering and leaving. Right. So to remove this air, we have air compressors. All right. So there are air compressors to remove air entering at the station. And at the top of the tunnel, we have solar panels. We have solar panels which gives the required power. So at the top there are solar panels, which will give the power to this hyperloop. At the top of the tunnel we have solar panels which gives the required power. Hyperloop uses passive levitation. Hyperloop uses passive levitation. Passive levitation, where electric current is required only once. It uses passive levitation, where electric current is required only once. Where electric current is required only once. After that, it retains the magnetism property. It retains the magnetism property. After that, it retains the magnetism property until the train gets stopped. Until the train gets stopped. So because it is operating in vacuum, there is very less air resistance. So initially you give electric current, magnetism is there, it will continue till the train stops in the next station. So after next station, again you give an electric current, magnetism will come and it will continue operation. So this is passive levitation. And we use linear induction motors. We use linear induction motors. Linear induction motors, which provides the linear force. Which provides the linear force. So generally, again, not very relevant in motor. You might have studied what happens in a motor. You give the input is electric energy, current, right, and the output is both mechanical energy. Mechanical energy, and this is what we use in our house to pump water. This will be connected to a pump. So basically, it will provide linear force. It will provide linear force. So generally motors, the output is rotation. Here it is linear force. So it will keep the train moving forward and backward. The force is provided by linear induction motor. Okay, it will provide the linear force. Now the first bullet train is planned between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. First bullet train is planned between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. In India, proposals are there, okay, between Amaravati and Vijayawada. Proposals, only if it comes into reality you have to learn. Amaravati and Vijayawada, there is a proposal. Mumbai to Pune, there is a proposal for bullet train. So for hyperloops. First hyperloop is coming between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Then there are suggestions of hyperloops between in India. Amaravati and Vijayawada. Amaravati, Vijayawada. Mumbai, Pune, etc. Mumbai, Pune, etc. And bullet train, we have already started construction. So first bullet train is coming between Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Mumbai, Ahmedabad, bullet train is coming. First bullet train is coming between Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Then second is coming between Mumbai and Nagpur. Second is coming between Mumbai and Nagpur. Then there are a lot of proposals. Again, proposals you don't have to study. Delhi, Varanasi, Delhi, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, Amritsar, etc. There are a lot of proposals of more bullet trains which might come in future. And what is the speed? Why this is called hyperloop? Is it traveling at hypersonic speed? No. The speed of hyperloop is 1200 km per hour. Speed is 1200 km per hour, which is almost 340 meter per second. 3200 km per hour, 340 meter per second, which means it is sonic. It is traveling almost at the speed of sound only. Okay. Why it is called hyperloop? Hyper here means advanced technology. That's all. Hyper is used here to mean advanced technology. Nothing to link with what we say hypersonic sound and all. It is not linked with hypersonic sound and all. All right. So next is Project Alloy. Last topic is Project Alloy. Project Alloy. It is a project of Intel. The first hyperloop is coming between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. That's all. First hyperloop is coming between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. In India, we have proposals of hyperloop between Amaravati and Vijayawada, Mumbai, Pune, etc. Amaravati and Vijayawada, Mumbai, Pune, we have proposals of hyperloops. All right. So Project Alloy is a project of Intel to develop headset. What headset? Merged reality headset. To develop merged reality headset. It's a project of Intel to develop merged reality headset. So what is merged reality? Before that, we'll study all these realities: virtual reality, augmented reality, and merged reality. Virtual reality, augmented reality, and merged reality. All right. So first is virtual reality. Virtual reality. It aims to create. Virtual reality aims to create an artificial simulated environment. It aims to create an artificial simulated environment to the user. It aims to create an artificial simulated environment to the user and makes him have an assumption about his realistic presence. Makes him have an assumption about his realistic presence in digital world or in digital environment. Makes him have an assumption about his realistic presence in digital environment. See, and here wearable headsets are mandatory. We have to wear wearable headsets. We have to use wearable headsets. We use wearable headsets. So what will happen? We will wear a wearable headset which will have things in our eyes also. So we will feel even though I'm sitting in this room, you are sitting in your room, we are wearing this headset and we'll feel that we are in some other digital environment. All right. So if suppose we are inside an ocean, so we will see fishes swimming near us. We will hear the sound of water. So we will really feel that we are inside another reality. Even though I'm physically sitting in this room, I will feel that I am in an altogether different world. This is called virtual reality. So it is an artificial simulated environment, and I'll feel that I am sitting in some other world. So because I'm wearing all this, I'll not feel that I'm sitting in this room. I'll feel water around me. I'll feel fishes swimming around me. This is all called virtual reality, and we have to use it is like a three-dimensional, three-dimensional simulated environment. Okay, and users, I will have a realistic feel around the simulated environment. I'll feel that that is a reality. Okay, so it is called virtual reality, and at times we can interact with the simulated environment by using devices like joystick. We use devices like joystick. Example is in malls, you might have seen virtual reality gaming zones. There are virtual reality gaming areas in malls. So if you go and play this games in malls, so you will be doing things. You will be playing a game, but you will be inside the game and you will be controlling things using joystick. Okay, so you can add in certain cases. In certain cases, users can interact with the simulated environment. In certain cases, users can interact with the simulated environment by using computational devices like joysticks. By using computational devices, like joysticks. Example, virtual reality gaming area. Virtual reality gaming area. Virtual reality gaming area. Next is augmented reality. Augmented reality. It aims to interface. Augmented reality. It aims to interface a digital character. It aims to interface a digital character with the physical world. It aims to interface a digital character with the physical world. It can be sensed with or without headset. It can be sensed with or without headset. The character is projected into the living world. The character is projected into the living world by using cameras. The character is projected into the living world by using cameras. So here, example is this Pokemon Go game. Okay, Pokemon Go. We have discussed about this before also, Pokemon Go. So what you do, this Pokemon, I will use my mobile phone. I am playing with Pokemon using my mobile phone. I will see Pokemon inside my room. Okay, this Pokemon will be doing things inside my room. It will have obstacles. It will be jumping over obstacles, etc. Inside my room. All right. So this is an example. I will be seeing this room and he will be doing things, but this character will be inside this room. So I am projecting this character into the living world by using camera. This is augmented reality. I am merging my environment into with a digital character. Third is merged reality. Third is merged reality. It interfaces a physical character into the digital world. It interfaces a physical character into digital world. It interfaces a physical character into the digital world and makes the physical character control the events in the digital environment. Make the physical character control the events in digital environment. Make the physical character control the events in the digital environment. entire course of action, entire course of action is done by using body parts. Entire course of action is done by using body parts, and wearable headset is mandatory. Wearable headset is mandatory. Entire course of action is done by using body parts, and wearable headset is mandatory. It's just like the opposite of augmented reality. In augmented reality, we are interfacing a digital character in my physical environment. Here it is the other way around. A physical character, suppose I am a physical character, I will be in a digital environment, almost like virtual reality, but what I can interact with the environment. I can interact with the environment, and I'll be doing things in the environment with my body parts. Suppose I am inside a room, I see a door, I go and open the door will get opened. Okay, then I enter a room and I see a switch. I press the switch, that light will come. So I am doing things inside this digital world. I am a physical character doing things inside a digital world. It is called merged reality. Okay, so actually Intel is developing headset here, wearable headset. You have to wear headset. Headset is mandatory, and Intel is developing a headset for this under Project Alloy. And you can just in YouTube, if you type Project Alloy Intel, you will get videos of how they do things, etc. You can see all the things, augmented reality, virtual reality, all the robots names we discussed last class. All these things you can just put search in YouTube. Okay, you will get a lot of videos of all these things being done. Cobot, cyborg, all these things will get videos. All right. So with that, I have completed the topic from my part for science and technology. So certain things I would like to tell you before this is the last class, before prelims, how to prepare, etc. And meanwhile, if at all, I definitely invite your feedback about the class, constructive feedback, whatever you felt good, bad, etc. You can put it in the chat box. I will be happy to read your feedback. Academy might be taking official feedback. I don't know whether it will happen or not, but definitely please give me your feedback. Now, certain things regarding the exam in general. Okay. And if you want me to ask anything regarding exams, subject or anything, you can ask that in the chat box. The first thing I want to tell you is, see, now exam might be postponed. Most probably it will be postponed. June 27th is doesn't look like a reality. Now don't tell that if at all the exam is happened on June 27th, don't tell me Arjun sir told that exams will be postponed when it happened. But generally, the interview should be over for the exams to happen. That is a general way, because these people who are attending the interview, 2000 plus are there, only 800 will be selected. So 1200 will have to write the prelims again. Even people who are getting the other services like IRS mostly write the exam again. So that opportunity should be given. So it is not right to ask everyone to write again. That might also be right, not right. So interview is postponed. It had to start in April 20th and end in June 20th around. So 1 week before the prelims. Now it is postponed. So anyway, I don't think it will happen in May. Maybe June, July it will happen. 15-day advance notice will be given for interview. So you'll know when the interview is going to start. So after the 2 months, interview will be there. So June, if it starts in June, July will be interview. August might be prelims. If it starts in July, August might be the interview. September might be the prelims. So I tentatively see the prelims might be in August, September. This is actually a very good opportunity for for first timers especially. Okay, to revise things multiple times. So for prelims, again, I'm telling you, I might have told you before also, the most important thing is revision. Whatever you have studied, see, I have taught you 8 classes. I have told you a lot of new information. So if I ask you certain things which I have told you in the first class, if I ask you about missiles, the type of missiles, will you be able to tell me? This is the first thing. You have to revise whatever you have studied. Okay, there would be umpteen other things which I have not taught you. But there are things which I have taught you. If you get a question from this, will you be able to write? This is important. So whatever you have studied in this class, whatever we have studied in the course, please revise that multiple times. Now revise that again and again. This is very important. Try to read all the notes 3 times. Alright. And please, if there is anything new, it's not the time to read it now. Please, now if the exam is postponed, maybe you can read it, but still, I'll suggest if you have not read Science and Technology NCERTs of class 10 and 10, don't read. Skip it. Okay, read whatever you have been taught in the class, plus you can do this three things. First is, revise whatever is there in the class. Then, class notes or books you have studied, class notes or basic books like Lakshmikant and all, you would have definitely read, Spectrum, Lakshmikant, etc. Second is question papers. Question papers. See, how many number of tests you can do, please do. 30, 40, 100 tests if you can do it. I'm not asking you to sit and solve the question paper for 2 hours. Once you get a knack of doing how to solve it, you don't have to sit and solve it for 2 hours. See, in a question paper of 100 questions, maybe 50 questions you know, 50 questions you don't know. Study these 50 questions. Okay. And again, I might have told you before also, whatever new information you're getting, write it to a small piece of paper, either online or in your Evernote. You make a note for prelims related extra information you are getting and revise this information. It is not about solving a question paper every day. It is about how many number of times you are revising this question paper. If you get a similar question in the prelims, at least if from the similar area a question comes, will you be able to answer? This is the second thing. Not just academic question paper, you must solve UPSC previous question paper also. You should understand how UPSC is asking questions. What are the ways of elimination in UPSC? You should definitely understand this. And third, I will say current affairs. Current affairs, obviously, is the only thing if you have not studied current affairs. And current affairs is, then what we say, current affairs, you have to update. So this you might have to see. From my understanding, I will say, from my understanding, I'll say UPSC generally in prelims, they do not ask immediate current affairs. Even if the prelims is postponed to August, I don't think they will ask questions from June, July, etc. This is my understanding. Again, it can be wrong because last year the exam was postponed to October. No questions came from COVID. So if they were so much updated, so I feel they have a pool of questions. Every year they will update these questions and they will ask. I don't know when they will update the questions and all. But generally, we will see that questions come from say maybe April and all, up to April. So you have to update your current affairs. And if you have read some monthly magazines and all, please revise those monthly magazines and your current affairs notes. Okay. If you have not read any monthly magazines, if you have not made any current affairs notes, etc., please read a 365 magazine, revise it multiple times. Okay, revise it multiple times. This is what I'll suggest about current affairs. Whatever you are doing, revise that multiple times. It is very, very important that you revise this current affairs multiple times. Okay, so this is what I'll suggest in general regarding the preparations, upcoming preparations. Try to solve as many questions because revision itself happens by solving the question papers. The questions, the solving question paper itself will give you lot of new information. You might have read geography, you might have read polity, but you don't know how the questions will come. You don't know that point which you will mix up in the exam. For this, solving question is very, very important. So please try to solve more question papers. This is my mail ID. Sorry, not this. arjun.care@shankaris.in. This is my mail ID. If you need any help and all, please definitely you can ping me. If you have any doubts, you can ask now. I'll be happy to clear. Any feedbacks, any doubts, please do ask. I'll be happy to clear your doubts. And please give your feedbacks also. If at all you have any feedback, please give your feedbacks also. Trips, again, it should have been discussed with biotechnology because more trips, intellectual property issues happen in biotechnology. Maybe I'll discuss with Sujari and Sir. Now I don't have a class. Maybe you will get some current affairs classes later. Depending on prelims date, I think you might be getting some current affairs classes. So there, if at all that is not discussed, we'll try to discuss it there. All right. And yeah, you have one more class, so I don't want to extend it much. So I hope I have not met any of you in face to face, and it is very unfortunate that in the current situations we are not able to meet face to face. So I hope that I can meet you somewhere down the line in some test discussion, some exams, or if not, for sure, when you clear the exam, there will be felicitations. We'll be obviously felicitating you. And I will not know you face to face. So definitely, if you see me somewhere, do come and talk to me. It will be very happy to know that one of my students have cleared the exam. So all the very best to all of you, and I hope to see you somewhere. Yeah, somewhere down the line, somewhere. Hopefully, we'll meet face to face. So all the very best. And one more thing is be confident. You are going to clear this prelim. Now, even the next year's rank one does not know if he's going to clear the prelims or not. Okay, rank one does not know if, because that is how prelims are. I'll give you lots of examples. Like Tina Davi is there. I think this Anudeep also is there, who just cracked the prelims by 0.33 marks. Just about prelims, they got the cutoff. They just cleared the cutoff. They became number one, because prelims is not just about your knowledge. Prelims is about how you apply your skills in the paper. There are a lot of elimination techniques in prelims, which you might have read, you might have seen somewhere. If not, Mrinal is a good source to check this elimination technique. When I have taken some classes at some places regarding elimination techniques, so do make a understanding of how elimination techniques work. Okay, and prelims you should know, because in the 100 questions you get, 30 35 is the maximum questions where you will know for 100%, yes, I know this. But still, you have to get 60, 65 right. Then only you will clear the exam. How will you do this? There are some elimination techniques. There are some ways of understanding how UPSC asks the question. That is why I told you to go through UPSC questions. Okay, so be sure you are going to clear it, because that itself will give you a lot of confidence while you are preparing. All right, so be confident you are going to clear it this time itself. Now there is enough time. Even if you are feeling panicky that you have not been revised, etc., you have 3-4 months more, no? May, June, July, August, 3-4 months you will get to study things. So please use this time to revise whatever you have studied multiple times, and make sure you are going to clear the problem. So let all of you clear the exam this year itself, and my all the best wishes to all of you. And yeah, thank you so much once again for all the good comments. And hopefully I'll even I want to see you all very soon. So hopefully we'll meet somewhere. Yeah, obviously offline classes would be more good. Even we want offline classes, but what is going to happen is really uncertain. So be safe wherever you are. Please be safe, and have a good time. All right. Thank you. So let's wind up. So I'll meet you all somewhere, hopefully. So all the very best once again. Thank you.